closed for a month. Not for the first time, the bosses of Twitter, Facebook and Google have been accused on Capitol Hill of political censorship for the way they deal with controversial material. Republicans have long claimed the big social media platforms are biased against conservatives. Democrats believe they don't take down enough fake news. All this came to a head again at a Senate hearing on whether tech giants should be responsible for what's posted on their platform. So let's go live now to Washington, D.C. Matt Stoller is from the American Economic Liberties Project, a non-profit which aims to challenge the dominance of monopolies. Matt, I know you've been waiting a while to come on air for us. Thank you very much for that. It's not the first time they've been there, as we were saying. In a way, this was just theatre. Will it change anything?
I don't think this hearing is particularly important, except that it is true that big tech CEOs are now regular guests on Capitol Hill, and that's a good thing because they are powerful and they need to be held to account.
And a lot of this is a long-running debate, isn't it, about whether they are publishers with editorial responsibilities or whether they're just platforms with no responsibility for what's posted there.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, they make a lot of money selling advertising against content, but they don't actually have any responsibility for the content that they make money from. So the question is, should they be held accountable for libel laws and various other torts that you would normally be held liable for if you were making money on that advertising as a newspaper? So that's the basic question here.
Can you explain how Section 230 of the Communications Decency Act comes into all this? I think it was passed, about 24 years ago when the world looked really quite different, tech-wise.
Yeah, that's right. It was a law passed in 1996 to basically make it so AOL chat rooms weren't responsible for what people said in those chat rooms. And it's kind of expanded with the internet. So now it covers a lot of the economy that involves the internet. So now, like Amazon claims they're not responsible for faulty products that are sold through Amazon. They say, oh, we're just a speaker. But Amazon's not really a chat room. Same thing with Google, same thing with Facebook. So this law is going to go. The Republicans often engage in bad faith debates around it, but the underlying law is, everybody knows it's kind of going to change pretty soon because it doesn't really make any sense today.
And it does seem likely there'll be legal moves against big tech, whoever wins the election. It's quite possible, though, isn't it, if the Republicans get their way, that actually they will see the social media platforms taking a lot more right-wing content down, or at least flagging it up.
Right. So you have, both sides kind of have their view of it. But on the Republican side, they're just half of them are trying to bully the controllers of the platform to prioritize content that they feel is better and represents their side. It's kind of a power grab. On the Democratic side, it's more suspicion of concentrated power, but they too want Mark Zuckerberg to censor on their behalf. But that's really besides the point. The issue is really these guys have a lot of market power. They're monopolists. If they weren't monopolists, then what they did with their platforms wouldn't matter.
Right. Sounds like we'll be talking to you again about this. Matt Stoller, thank you very much indeed.
Thanks a lot.